Warning, the voices heard in this video are made synthetically using artificial intelligence. Nothing in this video reflects anything actually stated by the real-life individuals involved. This video is for entertainment purposes only, and serious political content will be avoided for that purpose. Enjoy!
Welcome back to MTV Cribs. No alliteration today, but we are over here visiting my boy Donald's new home for the next 2 years, looking nice and homey can't lie.
Damn, a straight fatality off the gate.
No, I will never go back. Oh, wait. Eat a dick, Joe. I will grind my way out with a small loan of a presidential pardon.
Donald, I am definitely not pardoning you. You made the supersized bed and you can sleep in it, but I will send you a Morgan plushie and prison big dog.
Oh, please, I can pardon myself after I clutch up in November sleepy anyways. Here's a dirty mage that doesn't have the circle to defend him. You already know how slow and fun this will end.
Yeah, if you were playing Donald, I'm sure you would find some way to violate the Geneva Convention, but I personally feel bad for him and want to give him a chance to do something right.
Feel bad for him? He's a blood mage who's working for Loghain, kicked off this whole catastrophe, and he's the worst origin story companion. And that's including Lesky and Saurus from the commoner origins.
Oh, you just poisoned the Arl, huh?
I poisoned all Eamon.
But moving on, Donald Worst Companion is actually crazy. I know he betrays you, but Jowan is definitely a good-natured idiot, instead of outright malicious. He has a very childlike view on how the world works, and while he still made terrible choices, I can't outright hate him, because you can tell he doesn't think before he acts, and when he does, think he believes he can always make things right. Joe, you want to take it from here? You are our mage expert after all.
So Jowan is the Circle Mage's best friend, unlike the Mage Warden. Jowan is not a gifted mage, and felt like he could never complete the harrowing on his own. That childlike perspective probably wasn't helped, growing up sheltered in the Circle, but either way it was his major downfall, since he was easy to manipulate. Jowan turned to blood magic, or rather was approached by Uldred to be a part of his revolt, before Uldred betrayed him to keep his senior enchanter position, since he wasn't as powerful as Uldred believed. Jowan is yet another connection that proves Uldred and Loghain are working together, since Uldred probably helped set Jowan up with Loghain after Ostagar, and told Loghain just what to say to get him to go poison Eamon.
Bro really thought Loghain had the power to go over the chantry and let Jowan's blood magic crime be forgiven?
The robe is still a backstabbing bitch, though he tried to kill Eamon after the man let him in his home to tutor his son.
He deserves justice for that, but Robe is actually crazy from you, Donald.
Well, there was cut content that would have made Jowan undergo the rite of conscription and work off his crimes as a warden, same as Loghain.
Making a dude who can't even pass his harrowing a Grey Warden is actually insane.
I'd prefer that to the options we get, where we either send him to the Circle to be made tranquil or execute him ourselves.
We can also let him go and make him run away to be free. There was a cut side quest where you could encounter him in a random encounter where he takes on a new identity helping refugees. You can find it by Dana Ducci, or you can install a restoration mod that adds it back into the game.
If you chose that option, I would genuinely flip this table over. So wait, can we go back to that revelation you dropped earlier, Obama, about Jowan? I think it's insane that out of all the Origin companions, we got the backstabbing coward and weakling in the Wardens. Like, Loghain may be a coward, but at least he is a competent fighter.
That may genuinely be the nicest thing you or I say about Loghain, but more to your point, making Jowan a full-time companion would have given Circle Mage a crazy amount of dialogue, even more than they already have with Redcliffe, Broken Circle, and Wynne already. Not to mention, that means Jowan would have been included in the final Archdemon decision, as well as the Dark Ritual.
Oh, hell no, this cowardly bitch could have banged my wife and we left him unstabbed?
Well, it's okay, because the idea was scrapped very early on in development. Jowan was supposed to play a much larger role in the story, both in Redcliffe and beyond, but all that was lost to us now.
If Jowan was a companion that would put the Mage Origin to the absolute top tier, with special interaction, it might have actually made the Origin outclass. The other Origins, like To The Point players, might think, why should I play anything else?
It would still be even with my goated human noble, but I see your point.
I don't know. He is a blood mage.
Really good companion picks. All around Joe, Alistair, Wynne, and Morrigan all have a mountain of special dialogue for this quest.
I do read a few of your notes from time to time, Barry. Still deciding on who to send into the Fade later, but I will get back to you on that one.
So I know he has good intention and wants to help, but I don't know if we can really consider anything Jowan does as redeeming. He is trying to make up for hurting Eamon's family. But the only way he can do that is sacrificing his wife with blood magic.
It's the thought that counts, Barry. I just want to give him one more chance to do something good before he dies or is made tranquil. Also, look, Morrigan approves of letting him out.
Oh, I'm sorry, Morrigan. I didn't realize I was a blind fool. Of course, you know what's best, my love.
We didn't even need Jedi mind tricks for that one.
Wow, great coordination, Joe. You're really impressing your fans with that one.
I'm sorry, Leliana. I know it's because I didn't bring you I'll Never Be Foolish again.
Bro got our warden knocked into La La Land.
The fights in here drop in difficulty like crazy, compared to the village siege portion, though. I suppose if we didn't save the village, these fights would be more of a roadblock.
I think we are just in our late game power spike at this point. Built different is a goddamn understatement.
True, but a stray mage could still wipe you. Donald, be careful. Also, hey, we found a lost waifu in the closet.
Girl is actually terrified to see you. Joe can't blame her. She's been running from corpses, and now a corpse finally opened the door.
Pretty crazy. She survived all the walkers. This long girl either has max luck or endurance.
She's smarter than half the main characters in The Walking Dead, except for her loud-ass scream, but still got to give her some credit.
Ugh, I hate this courtyard. This revenant comes out of nowhere. And it was my first time fighting one on my first playthrough. That thing pulled my mage warden to him faster than Scorpion and two-shot him.
Skill issue, Joe. Besides, weren't you yapping about how overpowered our sword is? Time to put your non-existent money where your mouth is?
As strong as revenants are, they aren't a match for us at our current build.
You got a point, Barry. Time to lock in right now.
One major update to our build is that we have our champion specialization fully upgraded. So our war cry ability is incredibly powerful. Not only knocking everyone down in a wide circle, but debuffing their attack too.
Which means we can now run in, knock down, and debuff everyone, then clear house.
Late game Origins is so fun and broken.
There truly isn't anything as fun and as broken as Dragon Age Origins late game. While every entry in this series late game is powerful Origins and Awakening, cranked the overpowered mechanics to 11, thanks to how powerful crafting and runes are in this game.
I love it because you have to understand the mechanics and have a money grind set to get them. But honestly, I think Inquisition's late game power spike is more earned than Origins, even with that consideration.
On one hand, it's super fun, but on the other hand, it makes the ability to cheese most fights easy mode.
Viewers, let us know what you think.
Damn Tegan is showing his application to be put into Fortnite.
He do be sturdy with it, can't lie.
Barack, stop trying to appeal to the Gen Z crowd. They don't even make up the largest viewer rate.
Been checking our viewer demographics, have you, Donald?
You know, I am always on my grind set, Barack, that includes this channel.
Hey guys, we are kind of neglecting the plot here. This kid ain't acting right.
I blame violent video games and too many politically correct kid shows now.
What is it, Mother?
Well, personally, I blame social media. I'm going to show this at the next TikTok congressional meeting.
Literally a demon, you dumbasses, a desire one at that.
A desire demon approaching a preteen boy? Yeah, bro, was cooked the minute she came in.
Facts, if those things were real, this country and its secrets would be in trouble, is all I'm saying.
Presidents try to not be horny in dialogue challenge impossible.
After last episode, all I can say is right back at you, Barack.
I beg you, don't hurt anyone.
Mother?
So Connor Demon seems pretty close to wanting to take out Isolde. I wonder if Connor specified keeping Isolde alive, or was it just keeping Eamon alive? If he didn't, I'm surprised she hasn't been taken out yet.
I like to think he did specify everyone in his family, but if not, she's probably being kept alive because Connor is still in there somewhere and doesn't want to kill his mom.
So we were saying something earlier, a few episodes ago, about how demons don't fully possess people. They tend to amplify the emotions in the persona that the demon represents. Well, your theory is proven right, Barry. We can see it clearly with Connor here.
Good shit bringing that back, Joe. A big reason I think like that is because of the conversation here. Connor talks about using Redcliffe's armies to conquer and rule. boldly stating he is in charge now, and that it's his time to rule. Even making Tegan dance for him like a jester is all very juvenile, like a young boy's fantasy of how kings rule. This doesn't fully feel like the demon's plan on its own. Sure, the demon caused the attack on the village and the deaths, but a lot of their desires feel like Connor's being amplified by the demon.
In short, possession is goddamn terrifying.
Connor would agree, even 10 years later, bro is struggling with PTSD.
But when I support the Templars and preach the dangers of magic, I'm the problem.
It's more so your willingness to kill and lobotomize them. Donald, a lot of viewers were actually on your side during the Circle Tower, just not as intense.
Well, what you and so many viewers fail to realize is that tranquils are good for the economy as record keepers and enchanters.
Holy shit, can we go one episode, Donald, without you wanting to commit several war crimes on the mages?
Look, without Morrigan putting out there's no balance in my mood anymore. I've gone off the deep end.
Thankfully, by the time we reach Dragon Age 2, Donald will be more reset emotionally.
I wouldn't say that by any goddamn metric. I don't even get to see my goth mommy in 2. And we aren't romancing secondary mommy Isabella. Only reason I will even play that game with you two is I want to see how much I can get away with.
Well, that, and you love us, Donald.
I, in fact, still hate both of you, and I hope to reaffirm that very soon.
Bro is the biggest tsundere.
Yeah, whatever, keep up the weeb shit. Well, it looks like the 10-year-old demon wants all the smoke still, so someone get me my belt.
No, Daddy, please.
Heavy pause.
The biggest pause, what the hell?
What did I say?
Okay, we are going to move past that. Well, moving back on track, we have sort of a mid-fight on our hand. Redcliffe might be my favorite main story quest of the first 5, but the combat, if you come here later, leaves a lot to be desired.
Nothing compares in gameplay difficulty to the deep roads. The sooner we accept that, the better. Even Joe can handle this.
I mean, I may not be struggling in this fight, but it feels good to fight something other than the walkers. If I don't see another one for the rest of the base game, it will be too soon. Also, I have a lot of new spells to play with in this fight, which is always fun. Maybe we shouldn't have brought the knights with us to make this easy fight easier, but I couldn't resist their reaction to Tegan dancing, honestly.
Yeah, seeing these combos we have now really makes me miss them in the later series. There's nothing more satisfying than shatters or grease fires.
Okay, Tegan tanking our hits and still getting up is a pretty good durability feat.
Not as crazy as Oghren's durability in the end slides of Awakening or most Mass Effect characters' durability, but the big guy did all right.
Isolde seems a bit too concerned with Tegan. Something you guys are hiding from Eamon, maybe?
I mean, they are family, but I have seen a few crazy fan theories that Isolde and Tegan may be having an affair. But there is not a scrap of evidence besides both of them being closer to age than Eamon.
Yes. I didn't tell you because I believed we could help him. I still do.
Jowan came around the corner like he's a damn surprise guest on a daytime show.
He's no longer your son.
You! You did this to Connor!
I didn't summon
Okay,
any
I know we
demon.
don't like her,
told you.
but I could feel the
Please,
hate
if
for
you'll let
Jowan
me
in that
help.
voice line props to her voice actor.
You
Damn, Jowan, she got
betrayed
you
me.
there. Don't worry, I can
I
guarantee
brought
he is
you
not
here
making
to
it past
help my
next week,
son,
girl.
and in
Good on you,
return,
Tegan, for bringing it
poisoned
back
my
to her fault
husband.
too. Literally,
This is the
both of
mage
you and
who's vocal.
Loghain
Didn't
all
you
share
say
the
he
same
was
slice of
adopted?
this shit pie.
He
Okay,
was.
Barack, Tegan is kind of
I
based.
assumed the creatures
I'm
had
adding
killed
him to the
by now.
homie love list. If your
must have
dumbass
been
just
set
followed
free.
the rules and sent Connor to mage school, we would have been
Useful?
fine.
After
And we wouldn't
everything
have
he
to
did, he
play
should
the
be
Left 4 Dead
executed.
Redcliffe mod.
Without him,
There's a reason
none
he's
of
a
this would have
well-respected
happened.
Ferelden noble boys. Also, Eamon dying from killing the demon never comes up. After that one line of dialogue, I have an inkling the demon made Eamon worse rather than better, even if he is alive.
Now we have that classic end of quest moral decision on us. There's always a lot of options to choose from.
If Veilguard doesn't have choices like this, I'm staging a riot on BioWare
Sometimes
headquarters.
he breaks
Valid on both points. Important to note, this is the only time we hear about Fade possession as opposed to physical possession. I'm wondering if it's because Connor is too young or weak to be made into a full abomination, so the demon had to go this route.
They take
Either
him
that or
away.
she fumbled hard during the deal process.
He learns
Damn tough
just
choice
enough
we
to
have here.
hide it.
On one hand, blood magic bad, but on the other hand, Isolde is the annoying asshole, and this would help bring some balance in the world.
Violence.
You know it's bad when the human sacrifice is actually
That sounds
appealing.
strange.
Better than using the murder knife on a
Maybe
10-year-old, I
Volunteerism
guess.
or
Okay, so I just had a thought. There is 11 people here, and Jowan says we need all the blood of one person. But if everyone donated a little blood, surely 11 of us could donate a non-fatal amount of blood to do the ritual.
I never thought about that.
Someone do some quick math to figure if he's bullshitting or not.
Okay, so there's about 5 to 6 quarts of blood in the human body. The average blood donation takes a little over half a quart. So if all 11 of us give that, we should have more than enough to do the ritual, albeit the mage running it would be lightheaded as hell.
When teachers said math is going to be used in everyday life, this is what they meant.
Too bad our little guy hits the gym too much to do math, so we don't know that.
Well, we don't need it anyway, since we have a much better option before us than Blood Drive Simulator.
It's why I brought Wynne and Morgan and Alistair here. They all have this special dialogue to suggest the circle tower which saves Connor and Isolde. Even though I don't care about her, Connor still deserves his mom, I guess.
Can I be honest? The circle tower is kind of a lame option. There's no downside to it, even if you haven't done the circle tower yet. You can do the whole quest, then bring them in Redcliffe with no consequence. Going to the circle tower should have triggered another attack that causes you to lose the town or some kind of cost, so there's no perfect ending.
Not everything has to be dark like that, Donald Jesus.
I kind of agree. I'm not always a fan of the perfect option being available. It ruins actual moral tests and debates like this when there's a clearly correct option. I will say they at least tried to make the best option earned, because you kind of have to go out of your way to do it, and if you fail to save the mages or side with the Templars, you are locked out of this option as Gregor tells you to fuck off, more or less.
So between losing the town by going to the tower, killing Connor, or doing the ritual, what's the right option?
Gun to my head, probably the ritual. Isolde is willing. Connor is innocent, and I buy the perspective. Blood magic is okay as long as you aren't summoning demons or mind-controlling people.
That's the opinion Alistair has too. He prefers the blood magic ritual to killing Connor, speaking of let's grab Big Bro's mommy amulet before we take our 25th trip to the circle tower.
Good point. We just have to fight a few tin men here first.
It does seem like a sensible choice.
This is a very classic D&D fight with animated objects summoned by magic. I wish more dungeons had these. It's always a cool use of magic.
Looks like the knights are ready to square up too, if only they were this helpful during the night assault last episode.
Damn, these suits of armor have low hit chance and a lot of CC. This is more annoying than I thought, even with the knights.
This and the Tegan fight are the first fights in this quest, not benefiting from Topsider's honor either, so we are on even terms with the enemy for once.
It's all for the Alistair approval, though, so I can't be too mad at this fight.
Hell yeah, Joe. I always liked this gift since it actually shows Eamon did care about Alistair to some degree. Like, even if he had to give him to the Chantry and he wasn't his biological kid, he still cared enough to understand his hurt and took the time to carefully repair his amulet to give back to him.
True, probably the only reason Alistair didn't get it back years ago was the fact he wouldn't talk to Eamon, or the fact the Grey Wardens recruited him before Eamon could repair and give the amulet back. Speaking of, I wonder if this is really Alistair's mother or just an amulet that someone told him was his mother's, since Alistair believes someone else is his mother, and the amulet doesn't feel like something Fiona would just have.
Probably not his actual mother's, but at the very least it's significant to him, so I'm glad he got it back and can have a better relationship with Eamon. Considering how the Landsmeet will play out, it would be a good idea to build a more solid relationship between Alistair and Eamon.
Granted, saving his life later should be all the relationship he needs, but sure, it can't hurt to put some icing on that cake. Well, we probably have a few important world encounters for Wynne's companion quest and the Chanter's board to get through before we can enter the Fade proper. So Joe, while we get the side stuff out of the way, do you have a comment question prepped for us?
You bet I do, Barry. Ever since we watched the gameplay reveal for Veilguard, I have been more hyped than ever to play it. Let's say instead of new companions, you have to form a dream team of 9 party members from any of the previous games only. That includes Awakening Hell. Even one of the DLC companions, if you're feeling different, to tackle Veilguard. For my team, I got to give some love to the elves first.
Thanks again.
Meryl, Sarah, Talus, Fenris, and Valana are all on there. Can't really include Solace, for obvious reasons, and I don't want to include the elves like Sketch or Ariana. since I don't really know their capabilities. Then, of course, my girl Leliana has to join. After that, I guess I need some more muscle, so I would pick Aveline and Blackwall.
Your squad is trash. Fenris would tear apart every mage there in seconds.
Not when I'm a born leader. He won't big dog.
Noticed you didn't include Zevran in the elf list, Joe.
Oh, I know. Fuck that guy.
All right then, Donald, you can go next. I still have to think about it.
With pleasure. So first off, I need my wife Morrigan with me, and that's the only mage I will need on this list. Next, give me all the big guys: Iron Bull, Shale, Alistair, Fenris, and Oghren. After that, I will take Nathaniel, Varric, and Isabella for some sarcasm and eye candy.
One mage in the whole game is crazy.
She's all I need, all right? Barak, lay your dudes on us.
Phrasing, please. But I have a theme for mine. I would make my squad up of people seeking redemption first. So let's go with Anders, Nathaniel, Zevran, Solace, Dorian, Sten, and Loghain. All of them are people who were on the wrong path, but seeking something better. I think there could be a lot of good role play moments there, and it's something I could work with. After that, I would probably go with Sigrun and Cassandra, because those are my girls right there, and they add some muscle to the team.
Hilarious. I can't wait to see which member of the team stabs you in the kidneys first.
Well, all I will say is Team Elf for the win. But viewers, let us know your Dragon Age dream team in the comments below. Whether it be for roleplay reasons, personal preference, or just who you think the strongest team would be. We look forward to seeing all your suggestions. This should be a fun one. With the comment question, Ask Donald Mind, showing our featured comment from last episode.
Our featured comment comes from Daryl Walker, who sided with Obama and gave a vote towards Origins Redcliffe because of the thematic battle against the undead. I can get behind that, since I was the one who defended the village last episode. He also likes the idea that all the villagers united against the undead, including Lloyd, and that the NPCs in Redcliffe are top tier, which again, all three of us can get behind. Thank you for your comment and can't wait to see your dream team this episode.
Well, not too much story beats missed, but we did encounter the first random encounter to initiate Wynne's quest. Once you all see that scene where Wynne collapses after fighting some darkspawn, you should go back to camp and confront her to start the next chain in the quest. I imagine you're going back to camp at some point, Joe, so we can tackle that later. But during next episode, I will finish up the rest of her quest, because it is rather complicated with all its triggers.
Sure thing, Barry, but I have to deal with this thing first, whatever the hell it is.
Apparently the thing has goddamn shadow clone jutsu. I wish more mages had unique quirks like this instead of the same teleport force shield bullshit that we fight in the later games.
Technically, it's a demon, according to the toolkit. So I wonder if this is actually a demon of trickery, basically an early concept of what would be introduced in Inquisition, where they expanded from the 5 types of demons into almost any kind of emotion. There's a few demons, such as Gaxkang, that don't fit into the mold of the original 5 types. So it's likely that the trickster was another example of special demons.
Whatever the hell he is, he's a decently interesting boss that gives us 3 gold, a top-tier mage boot, and another boss counter for me.
So now that we have all the robes in one room, when do we start airing this bitch out so we can get the Templars instead?
Donald, it's been like 2 months at this point. Can you get over the fact that this is our army choice?
I will get over it the second they stop breathing the same air as me with their dirty robe breath and stop summoning demons as soon as they are moderately inconvenienced.
I'm keeping hope alive. Anyway, Joe, who are you going to choose to go into the Fade? We technically have 4 choices, though on Nightmare I can't recommend 2 of them. We can do Morrigan, Wynne, Jowan, or with a persuasion check, we can do Irving. Though if we pick Irving or Jowan, we won't have access to our inventory, so they will only have basic robes and a staff, no jewelry or potions.
Yeah, that sounds annoying as hell to do on Nightmare. It sucks because I wanted to use Jowan for narrative purposes, since this would really be his shot at redemption and saving Connor. But I know his move list is ass as well as his items. If we were playing on normal, I'd still do it, but on Nightmare, I gotta pick someone in the squad.
The obvious choice is our wife. She can one-shot everything in the Fade sequence, and she's the only thing hot enough to beat the Desire Demon.
Donald Morrigan disapproves if you send her into the Fade.
Wait, I changed my mind. Morrigan is the idiotic choice. Who the hell would send her there? Absolutely do not do that.
Way ahead of you, Lil D. I'm going to do Grandma Wynne to clear out the demon baddie.
So are we going to ignore the obvious joke that Joe, of all people, is going into a child's dreams? I'm pretty sure he is the least qualified person to do so.
Donald, seriously, where the hell did you get this idea that I'm some kind of criminal? I admit I might be a degenerate, but I'm also a father. I have my limits, so where the hell did you get the idea that I do not?
Well, you see, Joe, it came from where I store all my greatest ideas, my nuts.
All right then, Donald, keep that energy up, I suppose. Anyway, here's the Jarl Eamon. I'll have to use Wynne's max charisma build to calm him down.
Wynne and Irving can essentially auto-calm Eamon down, which makes sense. They have both been teachers for decades. Morrigan and Jowan automatically fail, whereas our mage warden has to pick the correct order of dialogue to calm him down, though as far as I'm aware, there is no benefit to doing so.
Well, we have a lot of solo combat to get through. I'm surprised people don't complain about this segment nearly as much as the Circle Tower Fade sequence. They both have the annoying fade tint.
To be fair, this whole segment will take about 6 minutes, while the Circle Tower Fade took us almost the entire episode to finish.
I found Connor, but why do I hear boss music?
I know it. I won't let you.
Bro's about to tweak out.
Fun fact, this animation is the same as if you confront Connor in Redcliffe Castle. Someone must have been really proud of it.
Smash.
I hate you both.
Well, we're going to have a few rounds of this, so we might as well get comfortable. Barry, you have any lore on Redcliffe you can dish out while we wait?
Well, Eamon had a pretty interesting childhood, both personally and historically, since he was born around the Ferelden occupation, and even fought alongside Merrick and Loghain. This helped form a bond between him and Merrick, akin to King Endrin and Harrowmont, from Orzammar, where Eamon was a trusted advisor, which explains why he was trusted to raise Alistair as well. Personally, however, his childhood must have been interesting, as his father was apparently openly bisexual and had a poly relationship with a man alongside his wife. This other man was a second father to Eamon and just so happened to be called Connor.
So wait, Eamon named his firstborn son after his dad's boyfriend?
Pretty much, he also named a fort after him.
Got to love that for him, go off big guy.
I think we can say Eamon is one of the characters of all time.
All right, well, we made it to the final boss after enough hijinks, and goddamn. Boys, I think I might fold here.
Can't blame you, Joe. Is it too late to side with the demon? She got that thing on her.
Wynne is jumping the gun on that lore drop about her. But yes, you two horny bastards, we are too late. We can't side with the demon, as anyone but our warden. If we are a mage ourselves, this can play out differently, and we can trade Connor's life in exchange for a boon, which includes companion approval, a bonus skill point, sex, or the blood mage specialization, which was the only way to get the specialization in the base game of Origins.
If I was a mage, Connor would be sold out for the demonacy.
Common Joe L., you can also intimidate her with max coercion to get a reward and leave with her life if you got the art of the deal.
Intimidation to get some demon tail is crazy.
So like this demon not having boss health is pretty crazy. It literally has stages, a healing mechanic, and a broader spell list than other Desire demons having fire, electricity, glyph, and hex spells that other Desire demons don't have. And it's the last fight of the Redcliffe questline, but it still doesn't have boss health, so we can count it.
That's a good point, Joe. This fight is definitely more unique than the average mini-boss, and it is the final fight of the main quest. What makes it even worse is she has boss health if you fight her outside of the Fade by killing Connor, and that fight has wave combat, making it one of the more difficult bosses in the game.
Damn, Barry, you really killed Connor.
I'm a seasoned player, Joe. I have seen all there is to see in this game.
While that yapping was nice, it doesn't change the fact that this stupid, sexy demon doesn't have a boss health bar, so it doesn't count Joe. You'll have to earn your tallies the old-fashioned way.
Honestly, it's kind of a gray area. On one hand, it doesn't have a boss health bar, but on the other hand, it is a unique fight. And unlike the spinning heads, it's supposed to be the final fight of the quest. Maybe we should put it to a viewer vote.
Sounds good. May the best president win, big guy.
Best president already won on facts alone, but your liberal ass wants to convey your feelings on what a boss should be, like that changes anything.
Careful Donald talk like that will summon Shen Bapiro.
Well, I guess our little guy wants to see how fast people burn because there's no way he cares enough about Andraste to respectfully watch a Viking funeral.
Notice the fact Connor is here to watch all the bodies he killed be burned one by one. I've heard of Catholic guilt, but I think this might not be the best thing for the dude's psyche.
Hey, a little dead body's never hurt anyone.
Tegan looks stressed as hell.
I don't think the big guy has really slept much since the Redcliffe attacks. He's been having to handle everything solo.
Poor guy, maybe I can...
Pause.
Heavy pause.
I didn't even finish my sentence.
You didn't have to.
Well, Connor can't be doing too bad. He's running around playing like normal, and he can't remember anything that happened.
He might not remember, but seeing those bodies and finding out what he did over time causes a lot of mage guilt to develop within him. So much so that he votes against the Ferelden Circle Rebellion and Inquisition. Also, he was supposed to appear in Dragon Age 2 if we kept him alive and didn't keep him from a demon.
I've literally never heard of that. Why would Connor be in Dragon Age 2 if he is a mage in Ferelden Circle?
Apparently, Connor was considered a high-risk mage and was transferred to Kirkwall to be more heavily monitored. We would meet Connor in the gallows along with Tegan, where we could help him escape by bribing or killing some Templars, or we could leave him to his fate.
Well, I'd rather have traumatized Connor back in Redcliffe and Inquisition than a simple side quest where we break him out in two.
Hope the kid enjoys his last days in the castle because he's about to go to maximum security Hogwarts by the end of the month once Daddy gets out of his coma.
I'm going to put Jowan out of his misery.
Wait, hold on for once. I agree with Isolde and Sleepy Joe. What is going on here?
Well, since we don't have the option to make him a warden, our options now are execution or sending him back to the Circle where, as a convicted blood mage, they will make him tranquil and torture him, so Joe is giving him a little mercy.
Never mind, give him to the Templars.
Not giving you the chance, Donald M. taking care of him.
Moving on to that, what the hell is the deal with Eamon's poisoning? Like, what exactly is going on here? It's a poison that doesn't kill him, but is also incurable by all forms of healing and herbalism. What kind of secret poison did Loghain cook up?
Maybe the demon interfering caused Eamon to get worse? Like maybe he was ill beforehand, but it would have improved over time, but the demon shut him into a fade coma.
That's a nice theory, Joe. But they are talking about his illness, like he was unresponsive even before Connor made the deal. And that is why Isolde fucked over Redcliffe by sending 90% of her knights out on the Urn quest. So I don't think it's accurate.
All right, time to bring back a call back. Welcome to the Railroad Boys Choo Choo. The writers wanted to talk about their pseudo-Christian organization for a bit and have us fight an actual dragon, so here we are.
Unfortunately, you are 100% right with that, Donald, because this poison doesn't make any damn sense.
Well, I guess we can't give them an update on how Brother Genitivi is missing and his home had a crazy cultist and a dead body, or even that we know where he is right now. That's surprising because there's so many other quests in this game where we can update them on major story beats. Well, we got everything we needed from Redcliffe Castle viewers. All that's left is to deal with Jowan. Honestly, even if he is lacking in smarts, I feel pretty bad for the guy. I think he really did love Lily and wanted to settle down with her, but made every poor decision along the way, and that's what ultimately led up to this moment.
Rest in peace, guy. You could have been an interesting addition to the squad. And if you hadn't been manipulated by Loghain and Uldred, you could have had a happy life with your girlfriend.
2 out of 10, death is too good for a filthy blood mage.
What about Morgan, Donald?
She's hot. She doesn't count Joseph.
Long as you admit it.
Time to end this. Very well.
I think that might be the only decision in the game that both Morgan and Alistair disapprove on.
Now that we're back at the camp, I want to talk about what happened.
Our big bro Alistair is here to glaze us up a little. Even if I think the best ending is lame, I'm happy we could give him a little bit of hope among all the loss he's had.
It's a massive approval boost if you use the Circle Tower to save Connor. Otherwise, you will get massive disapproval for using Jowan's ritual or killing Connor.
Well, you can gain some approval by doing Jowan's ritual. He can be convinced that sacrificing Isolde to save Connor was a fair decision. But still, we definitely got the best ending. And we have Alistair's friendship.
Good.
Let's go check in on how homie Sten is doing.
Oh God, we are checking on this big lug. Are we seriously going to have a therapy session with every single companion again?
First off, Donald, I think almost all the viewers want us to go through each companion's arc. Secondly, I think you'll find we are slowly wrapping up each companion. We won't have too many moments left with the party anymore. Plus, this Sten lore drop is good. This is the first reveal that the Kunari plan to conquer all of Thieves one day.
I did not take Sten seriously on this until we reached Dragon Age 2, to be honest. As soon as I saw how quickly the Kunari took over the city, every game since has left me on edge for when these guys invade.
With all the new Veilguard news at the time of this video, we still haven't heard much about the Kunari yet. We know we are getting a Kunari companion, but I wonder if the Kunari and Tevinter war will boil over in this game to the rest of the world. Or it will be pushed to the side with all the Dreadwolf stuff.
Well, they did say we are going to explore more places than ever before. So seeing Sahiron or Parvalan is realistic. But I'm making a sweeping declaration now. If there's a choice to side with Tevinter or the Kunari in the war, I'm giving the W to the Horn guys, not the Society of Blood Mage Slavers all in favor.
It depends how much influence Dorian has in Tevinter, honestly, but I can get behind that.
I'm giving a hard no to that. I would rather have Tevinter mind their own business than the Kunar, who actively want to conquer everything.
I knew us agreeing wouldn't last forever, Sleepy. Of course you want to side with the Blood Mage Society. I bet you're going to forgive their college loans too, you goddamn Democrat.
Okay, we are going to move on. Now that's enough Sten for now. Let's check on Uncle Oghren.
That's something I can get behind. I don't know why Bro is giving us such a piss-poor attitude, though.
Bro hasn't had enough happy juice today. My dad was the same way. It's okay, boys. We just have to make a beer run before he stomps on all my toys and calls me a bitch.
Joe, are you okay?
Of course, Barry, I am fine. What the hell are we doing here, though? I thought we were in the Fade.
Jesus Christ, has this bastard been dissociating for the last 10 minutes? I'm not even surprised, Joe. Just lock back into your pink Barbie laptop. You still have 20 minutes of this episode left.
Okay, but what were we doing?
We are talking to the squad. Let's just move on from Oghren. He is still masking his true feelings about missing Orzammar and Branka, saying he doesn't miss them, despite that being all he has known for his 40 years of life. Anyone who lost their family and status in society would feel shitty. Oghren, you're not fooling anyone.
Once we hook Bro up with his girl, he will open up and we can even share a drink with him, so we can look forward to that.
Well, he will be more open with us, true, but I don't think that's going to help him move on from Branka.
Despite the toxic relationship, Branka was really all Oghren knew, and it went horrible. It's understandable.
Look, getting some short stack might not solve all your problems, but it's a great band-aid.
Intertwined on the floor of the deep roads. I'm just gonna go back to the tent for a moment. Excuse me.
Oh God, here comes the conversation with Wynne that makes everyone hate her.
I'm about to box this grandma out if she starts talking about my Morrigan.
I was trying to talk about her passing out and almost dying on the road this episode, but I guess she would rather talk about our relationship status like some aunt at a family gathering.
Unfortunately, it has to be a confrontation when we first enter camp. And Alistair's priority shot up above Wynne's, I suppose. It's a flaw in how they designed the confrontation. We can either leave camp, travel somewhere, and come back, or we can tackle it next episode.
I will just let you handle it, Barry. I still have some side stuff in Denerim I want to handle, and of course, Leliana's quest.
This dementia victim needs to learn that I am fully okay with a goth girl using me, and I can be used by her and still kick the ass of everything standing in my way. Holy shit! I think Wynne just shot up to the bottom of my companion ranking, and that means she somehow beat out Sten and the Bard.
Let's just move on. I think Donald is about to burst a blood vessel.
The only thing I am going to be bursting is Wynne's face into a nearby Denerim curb. She can join the egg there in the fall on God.
So I'm going to try to wrap up things in the market. Starting with the Slim Couldry crime wave, in order for this to appear, your warden has to have at least 1 point in the pickpocketing skill tree, or if you're a rogue, 1 point in the stealth skill tree.
Do we really have to help this guy? I have enough legal problems without dragging our warden into petty crime.
It has a small amount of significance in Dragon Age Awakening, so I would rather do the quests, plus they are worth a lot of money. We have a choice between pickpocket quests and stealth quests. The pickpocket quests are far more interesting to do, as some of the stealth ones just have you busting into a place and killing everyone.
That's the one I'm going to do. There are some fun options we can have in some of them.
Our Dwarven nobility warden is really stooping down to a life of crime.
Hey, if the Dova King can become the leader of the Thieves Guild, why not our little guy too? Honestly, I'm more so just surprised that it's petty crime we are doing. With how our guy is built, we should be walking into noble houses and boxing our way to the valuables.
Well, that will come up later with how, believe me. Also, I looked it up. These things give pretty good money, but do we really need to take everything that's nailed down still? We have almost all our late game items now. Don't get me wrong, I'm addicted to the grind too, but what do we need it for?
Next episode, we are going to be hitting up the Dalish camp with certainty. So we are going to spend almost 100 gold on crafting materials and the skill tunes. So yes, we do need that much. Also, before we finish the main story, I want a good nest egg for Awakening so we can fully deck out our party in new gear and new runes. I know we talked about our Awakening nest egg earlier, but it's about time we fully implement it since it will be happening soon.
Guess it doesn't hurt for our little guy to be fully stacked up.
One other interesting thing about Slim here, he is apparently a half-elf and lives in the alienage in Denerim. This is another example of how, even though half-elves look human, they are still segregated to the alienages due to elven prejudices.
Wait, if this guy lives in the alienage, why don't we meet him in the city elf origin?
Good question, Joe. I don't even think there's any unique dialogue for a city elf either. The only reason he lives in the alienage is for flavor and to give him a reason to hate nobility.
Given the unspeakable shit that happens in the city elf origin, I can't say I blame him.
None of us fought to play city elf either. I like how we all agreed to just avoid it.
It's one of the weaker origins in terms of interactions, and despite the roleplay options to play a more ruthless character, I felt like it would be a pretty bleak way to start this series.
Fair take, very well. While we are here, we also have to give the Red Jenny painting to Sarah.
It's not confirmed that it's Sarah, but she does say she lived in Denerim during the Blight and she was a child, and we hear a child laughing behind the door, so it would make sense.
My headcanon is that it is, and nothing can stop me. I live for those kind of tie-ins.
Thank God Sarah doesn't swing that way, so you won't be as aggressively horny for her as you will be for Meryl in the next game.
Speaking of aggressively horny, let's go hit our next mark, shall we? Nothing suspicious to see here, just a normal cutscene with a perfectly normal way to get the sword.
Oh, Lord Joe, are you actually going to do what I think you're going to do?
Wait, I have never done this quest before. Why does this girl look familiar? Obama, is there any lore here?
You probably remember her from a certain YouTube video that got 2 million views, Donald. But if you don't remember what it was from, you will shortly.
Max coercion has its perks.
She keeps calling us a commoner. I feel like we should drop that we are a goddamn noble and probably outrank her on the importance scale.
Don't worry about her, Donald. She will get her just desserts in a moment.
Degeneracy aside, I have to applaud this quest. For the amount of options you can resolve it, you can use 3 different speech paths to get the sword, or you can just use pickpocketing.
Dragon Age Origins really thought about player agency in almost every decision. Sure, there's some side quests that might be linear or straightforward, but there's so many good quests in between that you would be pressed to remember them.
We can only hope Veilguard has deeper choices than what they have shown already. Nice. Damn, maybe Crime Wave isn't a bad quest line after all. Good one, Joe.
Thanks, Double D. Let's see what other mischief we can get into.
Bless you, stranger. Bless you.
Why is every Denerim side quest either incredibly illegal or literally Law and Order Simulator? There's no morally neutral quest here.
I don't know, but this dude's quest line has some impact on the Landsmeet quest line, so we might as well take care of this.
Did we seriously just escalate from petty crime to contract assassination? We seriously are just playing Skyrim at this point.
Not far off. Albeit these quests aren't going to be nearly as interesting as Oblivion's Dark Brotherhood, they are still really easy, so I can wipe off the first few next episode.
This guy is using the same logic Thane uses in Mass Effect 2 on the assassin mindset. I wonder if that is where they get it from. Also, Donald, the first contract is some of Howe's henchmen. I'm sure you can get down with that.
Never mind, good sir. We will carry on with your self-owned business and assist your grind.
It looks like, next to Morrigan's opinion, the second best way to get Donald to do something is anything that fucks with Hal.
Can't blame him there. How is at the top of most people's shit list might be the top villain, honestly, in terms of player hatred. Also, despite what this crow says, there is no assistance he offers with the hit, Logain put out, and there's no further information about future job opportunities the crows can offer. In fact, helping him here doesn't stop the crows from screwing with us multiple times in Awakening. So there's no lore reasons to help him. But this does give us an extra boost in the Landsmeet just in case, so we might as well.
The crows might be scumbags, but they never stop the grind, I can give them that. I still will have to kill them all later for stealing vigilance, but I still respect them for it.
Maybe we can get some get back for vigilance in Veilguard, since I would bet my left nut we are going to hit up Antiva City at some point in that game anyway. Last bit of side quests before I help my girl get some vengeance on her ex. Let's see what jobs the guard sergeant has for us.
Hell moves Joe.
This guy is the definition of they don't pay me enough to care. Most of the guards he has are soft nobles, who are too scared and green to fight in Ostagar, or housemen who are worse than criminals. And there's nothing in between. I mean, he literally has a wanted poster of us in his possession, and he can't be bothered to arrest us or care.
Yeah, hang on. That's the second time since we walked in here that someone mentioned a wanted poster. How did Loghain remember our appearance well enough to make an accurate wanted poster, and what is our bounty?
Very cultured one-piece reference, but honestly that means Loghain memorized our face, then sat down with the sketch artist for a few hours to make the poster. Which is crazy, he is thinking about us that hard.
I got nothing on that one, but he wants us to kick some scrubs out of the Pearl, so I will handle that next time, and even meet a very important future companion.
Oh God, my pirate queen, thank you, Lord Sandal, for this gift from above.
I will bring some towels while we are here too.
So we have one more crime wave quest to complete for now. But while I finish it, I have a quick yap to get through. So these crime wave quests fit Origins really well and add some more interaction to the city of Denerim. But I feel like the game that fits a Thieves Guild questline like Crime Wave is Dragon Age 2. I mean, we see pickpocketers, smugglers, and even the Cutthroat Merchants Guild in Kirkwall, but there's no pickpocketing skill line or out-of-combat stealth. Not to mention the game takes place in a large city over the course of 10 years, which would offer the chance to build up a small, unnoticeable Thieves Guild to rise into a real criminal organization. I feel like quests like this could have really offered creative ways to interact with Kirkwall.
Holy crap, Joe, that was some Harvard-level yapping. I don't know whether to be skeptical or impressed.
Yeah, you cooked a goddamn gourmet meal with that one, Joe. One of the hidden mechanics of this game is if you fail pickpocketing someone in a major settlement, they could attack you in a random encounter in the world map. This is something they teach you as early as Ostagar with Duncan. If you pickpocket someone in camp, Duncan will confront you and tell you to be careful with your skills but not judge you, since Duncan was a pickpocket himself. It's really unfortunate Dragon Age 2 scrapped skill trees, because pickpocketing in a city that you reside in for years could have had tons of interaction.
Varric and Isabella could have been great heist companions to bring with you too, but Dragon Age 2's development cycle was shorter than Joe's awake hours, so that was never going to happen.
Yeah, I can already tell that will be a heavy theme of our Dragon Age 2 run. Honestly, I think if we get to Dragon Age 2, we're going to have episodes where we will theory craft improvements like that, since we might run out of conversation topics, since there's only so much lore we can squeeze out of 2.
Well, we did everything we could with Crime Wave quests, but we will get one more when we hit the Lands Meet portion, so we have one more money-making opportunity in the future.
True, we've done all we can for now. Good shit, Joe. We wrapped up the Crime Wave quest in good time, so it's time to make our way to Marjolaine's house.
I served up plenty of good strikes for you with the side quests next episode, Barry, so let's go make this bitch bite the curb.
Looks like we have some big dudes we have to take care of first, Joe. How many dudes did this chick buy to guard her?
Well, I'm glad we can waste her money as well as end her life.
Marjolaine is a very influential bard master in Orlais. Even the Empress is aware of her influence and renown. Needless to say, because of this, she is probably loaded and has plenty of resources to hire guards.
Well, she might have money, but it looks like she can't hire very good help. These guys are easy, clear.
Knock, knock, bitch time to die.
This girl is the biggest gaslighter in the business. I don't know how she thinks she is going to pull off pretending that sending men to kill her was a good intentioned mistake.
She needs to learn the basics from Bellin on gaslighting, honestly.
Well, I was intercepted from killing Bellin, but this bitch isn't getting the same courtesy.
Joe, I can't tell if you want to kill her because she's trying to kill your bard or because she's your bard's ex and you're jealous.
Why not both, honestly?
Whatever the reason, it's the right decision. It's not even a moral argument. Letting her go is the flat-out wrong decision. She will threaten to come back while you are letting her go, and Leliana will pursue her in Orlais on her own time after the Blight, unless you encourage her to travel with you. No matter the outcome, it is all but assumed by the events of Inquisition that Marjolaine is killed.
I don't see a reason to keep her alive, to be honest. Just seems like she is going to get in our way, as well as my girl's way.
I could see it if sparing her was the only way to keep her unhardened. But you have free control over her fate regardless of your decision here. Speaking of, are you going to be a badass and harden the bard, Joe?
I know she becomes hardened by Inquisition anyway, but as a wise commenter once said, the future game's choices shouldn't affect my decision-making, and I would rather she stay unhardened and tell her to choose her own path rather than guide her somewhere when she is vulnerable, which is exactly the same bullshit Marjolaine herself did to my girl. She met her when she was just a teen and pushed her towards that life. I'm not going to do the same.
Yep, all you want. I know you're not renegade enough to make the tough decisions.
And you're not a good enough paragon to avoid jail time, bozo.
All right, boys, break it up. Marjolaine might be an asshole, but she does have one point. Leliana does turn into Marjolaine to some degree over time. Probably because, like Joe said, she met and trained Leliana during her teenage years, which are some of the most forming times in someone's life. While she is not as treacherous as Marjolaine, she does become just as ruthless as her in Inquisition.
Don't worry, Barry, I can fix her.
It's a canon event in every man's life, got to let it play out.
Some plan for revenge? You are insane.
Time to show this rogue how a real mage player handles things. We're even on mages, but I'm higher on the plot armor scale time to die.
The amount of people trying to pull up to our warden, you would think there would occasionally be someone who would be like, shit, this dude with his spiked black armor doesn't look like he's going to die. Maybe I should just pull back. The smoke isn't worth it.
Awakening has a few moments like that, and it's honestly the best part of the entire series.
Good points, boys. I've been thinking about that. The Landsmeet through Awakening might be my favorite moments in this whole series, can't lie. It's just peak after peak with only a few negatives in between.
Good marketing tactic, Joe. I'm also really excited to get to the finish line. Lots of amazing moments, and we have a new squad of 6 to experience while we are at it.
This chick is really going to fight our high-level warden with just her hands and a Gucci dress. Is she high on her own supply?
Well, she's classified as the elite boss, so she actually has health more close to Flemeth, though obviously she takes more damage per hit. Her style of fighting is very fitting for a bard master. Instead of wanting to go blow for blow with us, she wants to stun lock and distract us, while she has the mages and henchmen take us out instead of doing the dirty work herself.
That's very similar to how she acts during Leliana's song. She doesn't do shit herself and has other people do her dirty work for her. But she's about to feel our entropy skill stocks before she gets the chance to do it back to us.
This playthrough has definitely made me reconsider how powerful entropy is. Maybe we can do a magic tree tier list sometime to explore the other trees and give people a guide on what to use and avoid.
We definitely could. That's a good segue. Donald Joe would have to take the reins on that one since he is our resident mage player.
I will cook with that tier list just as hard as I am cooking Lelianas Ex right now. We will have to do a main mission tier list too. I think the viewers would love to see them, and it might be a way to break through this damn YouTube algorithm.
Goddamn, Joe, you're actually breaking this Orlesian's ankles right now. Good shit.
I'm a gold medalist in breaking Orlesian ankles. Watch me finish cooking Barry.
That smooth-brained mage casted Earthquake in a small hovel and then proceeded to run into the earthquake he just casted. What kind of paid actors do you two find?
Not paid actors, just all skill. She's all alone now, no goons to save her. This is Joe Ever.
Yeah, her entire strategy has fallen apart and looks like we have scientific proof that a Gucci dress does not protect against magic and sword cuts.
I'm glad I took this chick down. Now my gorgeous Leliana doesn't have to worry about her evil ex anymore. And just like Morrigan's companion quest, we can get Leliana a late game tier 7, Beau Marjolaine's Recurve, which is exclusive to Leliana, and gives a +3 to cunning and damage. Definitely happy to see my girl fully built now, more or less.
Just like Morrigan's robes, we can get this item whether we kill the boss or not. But Morrigan's robes are hotter, so that automatically makes them way better.
It's over.
Guess we are wrapped up now with the toxic ex defeated. Next time we will enter one of our last filler arcs in the series. And while it won't be a beach episode, I'm sure it will still be hype.
Actually, Donald, while it's true, our next main episode will be me tackling Denerim side quests and Wynne's companion quest. Our next released episode will be Joe's special episode where he will go through Leliana's song. It's going to be different from the mainline series, so look forward to something different, viewers.
Thanks for watching, viewers. The insane support we have gotten is what helps us to keep pushing these episodes out faster and faster, and we are hoping you enjoy the slightly different format next episode as well. Don't forget to leave your comment question on what your Dragon Age dream team would be in Veilguard. Our editor will respond to every comment as normal. Don't forget to stick a thumb in my ass and like the video, and we will see you all next time for my special episode. But for now, stay safe, Biden out.